One of the things that can be most confusing in this class, at least until you understand what it is what I mean when I say key text. There are some assignments like the rhetorical analysis and the grammar quizzes which have no reference to key text. But all of your primary writing assignments, the summary response, the annotated bibliography, the synthesis plan, and the synthesis require you to use something called a key text. Now, key text isn't a normal academic term. It's one I use specifically for this course. But what it means is it's a recognition of a limitation of a 101 class, not only online, but just because a 101 class moves so quickly, they can't always concentrate on research. So what I've done is I've pre-selected 5 categories. And within each of these categories, I've put a number of articles, or at least linked to articles, that you can use to form your key text. You're going to select one of these articles, and this article is going to be with you for the rest of the quarter in some form. It'll appear in all those assignments. So first thing you're going to want to do is you go over to Canvas and you'll look into the modules section. And in the modules, you're going to find a section called Key Text. So let's take a look at these. There are 5 to choose from, as I said, and you'll notice that these are broad categories: image and sexuality, public art, social media, sports and PEDs, and violence and film. So if any of those categories interest you, you can go inside there and you can see the actual articles that are available to you. Now, for example, maybe I'm interested most in violence and film. So I'll click on that and it'll bring open a page. And on that page, you're going to see a series of articles. Now, these are there's not a lot of information here, but there are at least 15 articles in each section. Your goal, again, for the key text is to select one text. So I'm going to go ahead and there's one I've read before. I've read a lot of these before, but let me go on this one. It's been a pretty familiar one. You'll note here that there'll be an article title. There'll be some information about the author or authors. Note that there's Sherritt, which tells me there's one author, last name Sherritt, or Costas et al., which tells me there are at least 4 authors. And then information about a database. Most of these, with few exceptions, like here's a Project Muse, are from the Academic Search Complete database, which as a student at Central Washington University, you should have full access to. So if you're off campus, like right now I'm recording this off campus, here's what it might look like. So I'm going to take a look at this article, The Problem of Saw, Torture Porn, and the Conservatism. So it's going to ask me to log in. And if you're on campus, it won't do that. And then it will bring me to the article. Some important information here about your key text, but about this database in particular. Project Muse is a little bit different. Is that note here, you're going to have information like you're going to have a PDF. All the articles that are provided have PDFs. And the importance of that is those PDFs have page numbers, something that will be very important when we're working with citations later on in other assignments. I probably should have chosen a different article. This one's Grizzly. So here's an article, and then of course it has page numbers, etc. So this is a PDF that I can download and save and work offline with. In addition, it has other information such as who the author is, what the source is. This is the name of the magazine or journal. That information is all here, and that's information you're going to need later. But one thing that can be really helpful as you're choosing a key text is that most of this items on this database have what are called abstracts. Abstracts are, like the summary assignment that you're working on, are small summaries of the actual content of the article. Now please do not use the abstract for the summary paper, the summary assignment, because that would be plagiarism, and if I see any correlation there, of course you're going to fail the paper, possibly the course, and possibly report it to Student Affairs as the syllabus states. But this at least lets you know what the article is about, and you can decide whether or not you're interested in it. Also, some of these have, you can have the text read to you if you like to listen to the text, which isn't a bad thing. The other thing I'll show you, this might be useful, not necessarily now, but later on when you're required to include a works cited, as you will be on the summary response. This database has an option for a cite tool. And if you click on cite, it'll give you a list of possible citations, and you can always find the MLA. And this is something that you can use as the foundation for your works cited. Now, you'll remember that you're always going to have to confirm this. I can look at this and tell you there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different things that need to be adjusted on this before it's properly ready for a works cited. So it'll get you close, but it's not ideal. And so that's how you can select your key text. And your summary and your other papers will come back to this article for the rest of the quarter. And then we'll talk later about, the other things that go with this. including when you're combining multiple texts, you'll come back here within that same key text category. So you can come back here and for the summary response, find another text within this category. And with the synthesis, we're going to use multiple text, or with the annotated bibliography. But all this is inside this key text pages. I hope that helps. If you have any lingering questions, please let me know immediately. Again, there are a lot of points at stake and some problems if you do not use a proper eligible key text. Thank you.